Hello, you're listening to the audio version of a thread created by yours truly, Odie, also known as Sweet BTST on Twitter. The title of this thread is, "At the intersection of racism and misogyny sits a paralyzing fear of BTS. Here's why." Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy. BTS has long since transcended their music superstar status. They're not just very talented and hardworking artists, but they also encourage and inspire an entire generation. And that power cannot be taken for granted. BTS wield an immense amount of public influence, while also representing a massive generational shift in how young men are expected to behave towards each other and how male celebrities in their position view and treat their female fans. But of course, not everyone is happy to be witnessing this change. And so we get concerned trolls, snide commentary, and out-and-out sexist and racist remarks. I have long believed that if you dig beneath the anger and the hate, what you'll ultimately find is fear. BTS and ARMY might be getting it from both sides, misogyny and prejudice. But the perpetrators are actually the ones feeling the brunt of their toxic mindset. There is a paralyzing fear of BTS's success, and that wall of change that they're bringing with them as they continue to thrive in the global spotlight. Here's why that is. Number one, BTS happily subverts toxic masculinity while denying traditional patriarchal power structures the ability to claim them, or the ability to feel that they, that is the power structures, hold any sway over their image or careers. I still think about the power Boy With Love holds, from its color scheme, inclusive choreography, to defying preconceived notions of treating the female lead as an object or prize. I think that it demonstrated where they were mentally and how far apart they were from the typical ongoing misogynistic approach to treating women in videos, in media, and the divide between what you would expect a boy group to express towards female fans and women in general. I believe that ultimately BTS continues to demonstrate that they're not interested in endearing themselves to aspects of music and media culture, these people who can accept them for who they are as East Asian men, non-English speakers, non-Western sources of influence. They can't accept them, but they also continue to demand that BTS throws their female-led fandom under the bus in order to earn some sort of brownie points. As I've said in the past, BTS came to the West with colorful hair, a flawless skin routine, and a massive female-led fandom, and they are not abandoning any of it to make a bunch of pressed old farts happy. BTS can see the benefits of developing and encouraging healthy relationships, whether it's between themselves as a group and between themselves and their female fans or their male fans or other artists, whoever. And so BTS stand as a direct contrast to toxic male figures in pop culture who treat honest, vulnerable expressions of emotions as cheesy or bad, even as these bubbled up emotions cause untold harm to many men and boys throughout society because of a feeling that they're not supposed to express emotions, they're not even supposed to feel emotions, that this idea that has progressed for decades and century or whatever, that you're supposed to be this stoic being, or you're not supposed to relate to women or men in a healthy, honest way. This toxic masculinity permeates much of the music world and various male-centric spaces. As one writer, Joshua Edmonds, put it, typically toxic masculinity is present when men act a certain way among their friends to promote a more masculine version of themselves. With other like-minded individuals as an anchor, their behavior is validated and put on a pedestal of authority and becomes a blueprint for others to follow. This behavior, unchecked, causes men specifically to believe that toxic expressions of masculinity are the norm, to the point where they become threatened and angry and fearful of anything different from that. These are the people who hide behind this very narrow idea of what it means to be a man. And so, ironically, because of their fears, because of their limitations, because of this peer pressure that they cave to, they don't have the freedoms of self-expression and openness that you would have if you were a BTS and able to love yourself and encourage others to love themselves. Because how can you be free and fearless when you are told to hide your emotions and mistreat women because that's how you define manliness? 2, BTS and ARMY have not abandoned each other. BTS were repeatedly encouraged to distance themselves from ARMY. They were given every opportunity to mock us, call us crazy, and denigrate us because that's what the Western media and music industry does to young women for breathing too loud. Just the same, ARMY are repeatedly harassed and insulted by people who've never listened to a BTS song a day in their life because of an assumption that their music lacks depth and quality because young girls like it. And yet we resist being guilt-tripped away from BTS's music. BTS has ultimately unleashed an empowered female-led fandom onto the world. One that fully grasps our power and uses it as we see fit, and without asking permission of anyone or possessing a need to prove ourselves to sexist industry gatekeepers who constantly underestimate us. With each passing year, BTS and ARMY get closer and not further apart, because we often view each other as the persons that are in each other's corners no matter what. This level of trust and mutual respect didn't decay. We are always happy to see and support each other. It would certainly be easier for those who viewed BTS and ARMY through racist and sexist lenses to have their way if BTS and ARMY fell out. However, these people simply do not have the power necessary to gaslight either party, that is, either BTS or ARMY, into giving in and going our separate ways. Conclusion. You can't big mad away change. The future doesn't need your permission. It is inevitable that some people will go out of their way to be on the wrong side of history. I guess they feel if they scream loud enough, time will move backward and their antiquated worldviews will continue to hold weight. They can't move forward into a future where anyone can be a superstar or girls are encouraged to like and love themselves. They don't have the courage or the imagination, and they're too afraid to admit it. But that's their problem. One that won't stop us or BTS from thriving. And that's what makes them so afraid. No matter which form their discrimination takes, whether it's sexism, racism, xenophobia, what have you, they see more and more that they're diminishing. It's going to be easy to get angry at the words they say, at the actions they take. And of course you should speak out and fight back. But just know that we've already won. And that's another reason why they're so scared. The victory is inevitable. It's just a matter of getting over the hill to the other side, to that victory.
Looking big.